like boss, take a trip. Yeah, red sticks. You better trouble like a brick. Yeah, you know you can't fuck with the shit. Yeah, only thing I trust is my grit. Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with your bitch. Yeah, smoke the blunt with space gals, the green light and it's alright. Marvin, the Martian, like Boston, a starship, how yeah, going way beyond space again, through the pearly gates, I'm not making it in, yeah, amazing grace line, amazing wings, gonna make my way, this is my day to win, yeah. Why are you running your mouth? Like to turn upside down in reverse now. You could be up in the south. Listen, you could be on time in the north. I still say that you down in New York. Yeah, you ain't bringing no food to the table. Why are you counting the fork? Bitches the flight miles. What? Yeah, I got no time for a bitch. I done came up from a long way from wrestling. Posted where I was supplying the mix. You know, I'm feeling the parliament. Don't know if I can let fly, so how on the trip? I got the eye, the eagle, the eye, the tiger, the eye, and the mightiest fist. I am a bitch. Yeah, you know them call it the shit. Yeah, but all you hear is like it's like a shine. I'm the one that back got a star shit. You should know your ears on the farthest. Nigga, I'm out of your range. Fucking with I check your real. You demons are out of your brains. Like you didn't better stop. What is this? What is bitches like boss, take a trip. Yeah, but you better drop it like a brick. Yeah, you know you can't fuck with the shit. Yeah, only thing I trust is my grit. Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with your bitch. Yeah, smoke a blunt with space gals, the green light and it's alright. Marvin, the Martian, like Boston, a starship, yeah. I got the Jeep up in space again. I'm the only thing on a different planet. I don't believe in no aliens. Got the Tartarian key for Arcadians. You're never gonna be with an angel bit. Archangel, you're a yell, taking up a hill, turning all the demons to sex again. Fuck the past, I ain't even gonna hate a bitch. But I never go on the light. If you had 2 days to choose from, best believe you should be going with flight. It's a color make a glow in the night. Spitting only fire over the light. Yeah, I got the best flow in the rap game, and you know I be right. Fuck with me, we be holy like dice. Like it's blood, flight, yeah. Don't forget the F. And you know it's for flight. TLI, tell the yachts now, tell the story, make it just don't listen for potato head. If you got news, let's better tighten up, no air when you end up in space again. Holla man, he be lifted like ABS. In a flying saucer, blood flight, cheers, stay strapped like it's contract. What have you heard since the last time I taught ya? Flying cars, bitch, treat your ass like a toddler, nigga. You just better stop, what is that? What is bitches like boss, take a trip. Yeah, but you better talk like a brick. Yeah, you know you can't fuck with the shit. Yeah, only thing I trust is my grit. Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with your bitch. Yeah, smoke a blunt with space gals, the green light and it's alright. Marvin, the Martian, like Boston, a starship, holla man.
We're in space. Till you realize space sounds are just birds, bitch. You know, birds in space, bitch. Oh, other than that. Hot, not. Other than that. Woo, woo, woo. And we're going to talk about some shit. How people be needing some cheese. We're going to talk about it after we need some cheese. Stuff they don't tell y'all. Stuff that ain't no book. How we just like walk around. Some old nigga dead. You know what I'm saying? Some old Arab dead. What's wrong? Hungry. You know what I'm saying? Working all day on the railroad track and stuff. Oh, yeah, stuff. It's bad shit. People be needing cheese. People like it's supposed to be like train tracks, railroads named after people. We seen it all. We been here just as long as the Catajacks. You know what I'm saying? We been here as long as just the crickets and everything of that nature. Oh, I see some shit. I know who owns some cheese or not. I know what train track people be riding on and stuff to go cheaper routes and going on damn planes just in case it crash or not. I know what these supposed to have somebody else's last name on it, but it don't. Got Louis goddamn Victorian man. You know what I'm saying? So whose last name is that? You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Siberian already. Wait a minute. Who is this? You know what I'm saying? Vicky. Wait a minute. Somebody needs some cheese. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know, that government cheese and stuff. No, some real cheese. Oh, I'm starting to look at things. People died. I seen them hungry. We're gonna talk about the whole railroad track and how it got built and constructed in Ohio and stuff like that. And y'all probably know y'all own research on it. I don't really give a fuck about it. I only care about nuance and sentiments and stuff like that. I've seen somebody hungry. Saying somebody weak in the knees, they can hardly speak. That's the descendants of the, you know what I'm saying? SWV, they descendants and stuff. No, they ain't even have to be R&B singers and stuff. They could be like rich restaurants and shit like that, and train tracks named after them. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it all. So I know whose skin got made out of leather jackets out of and shit like that. The first Buggle Boy jeans and shit to be in the field. I know what I'm saying. I see some shit. Let me see some shit. See some shit. No, I see some shit. Welcome to America. Where your dreams just might come true. You got to be retarded though, because what is a dream? The imagination of all reprobates and degenerate, and I wish I could. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was shot caller. I wish I was a baller. I'm over that. Over that. The big wigs and them. I'm pilgrim, my feet hurt energy. Oh, I wish I lived in a new world. I wish I was a little bit taller. Oh, Sam. I wish I had some hair on my brain. I wish I could stop starving, eating small game. They came over here and started sniping everybody. Other than that, but like, yeah, some real shit going on. Somebody needs some cheese. So like a lot of times, a lot of people was hungry and shit like that. We didn't even have a lot of food to feed other people, but we still did and stuff like that. Shit, we need checks too. Well, we need checks from all being mixed up and stuff like that, not knowing how to go about it. So there's a lot of checks need to be spread it out. As much as we in this goddamn new industry right now where train track, that's a normal thing. You go to New York City right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the Lenape getting no check. I don't remember no Massachusetts, no native. I don't see them getting no check. I don't see everybody in Massachusetts having free water and stuff. Why ain't nobody in free? I'll say, because that's how we would have had it. Everybody, I don't care what train track is running in New York City, it's to everybody at Manhattan. You got free water and stuff like that. As long as I'm making trillions off this train track, especially if I was the colonizer. Let's say if we was the hardest, y'all still fuck with us even more anyway. Let's say we still kept kicking colonizers' ass and stuff, and then had them comply with our government and how to know shooting and stuff like that, and we still got in the industry and ran a railroad track and shit like that. You could bet your bottom dollar everybody had free water though in New York City. And Connecticut, Massachusetts, Jersey, everybody has some free water and free lecture. As long as I'm making trillions of dollars off, I know I done slaughtered the off-rightest left kneecap of your grandfather. I know I done hit your grandmother upside the head. I know the nieces and the nephews, that's probably your grandparents too, because we talk about lineage right here. I didn't hit them all upside the head. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm making trillions of dollars and stuff like that, I want to go to heaven. Whoever living over here who has something to do with that, free on bills, free on water and stuff like that. I'm protected by the shit. You ain't hurt my pockets. You know what I'm saying? I must not be a hustler if I can't be in that position. Somebody in government ain't no hustler. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, you gotta think like that. I be thinking deep. I be thinking deep. Ain't no way I'm going upside somebody's head. They got multiple, their whole lineage got multiple corrosives and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's somebody there one time, bow. You know what I'm saying? Their whole lineage can't walk right. You know what I'm saying? Whole lineage is upside down and mentally retarded, got ADHD or something like that. Nah, man, they need some cheese. They need some cheese. I ain't about to act like my descendants just off the luxury. Just like, you know what I'm saying? You already rich. You ain't gonna have nothing else to do but some perverted shit. You start creating drones, blowing up people's sex dolls. Nah, I don't need no lineage like that. I don't need no descendants like that and stuff like that. Starting to seem like all of us is turning into that though, even though. So we got to back up a little bit, like retract a little bit. Let's go to the past so we can know how to do something right now better. I guarantee a lot of our tax money go towards better shit. I guarantee we start seeing more relatable shit. I guarantee we start being more peaceful in this motherfucker. Shit, I ain't saying no motherfucking lie. I'm saying shit. Real shit. So it's really like this, right? Here's the thing. This where things get confused. I'm about to help y'all freedmans. I'm trying to help the natives. I'm trying to help everybody and white boy. I'm trying to help us all, right? This the main problem. When it comes into specifying, if that's even a term, this is the problem that they have with Native Americans and tribes. Y'all starting to become that problem right now, being freedmans. It's like a sting to that word leader. So it's realistic not to want to be a part of that because you know you could be utilized as a psyop. Yet That's the only game they know to, even if they are trying to be positive, to be able to have some filter through system. You know what I'm saying? They'd be thinking like things like Pan Megan Thee Stallion and shout her out, whatever the case may be. But like when it comes to even to the Democratic Party, they sit there and look at circumstances like that and think that is pleasing y'all or whatever, based upon what you're getting what you're entertaining by. But you don't know how to separate what you're entertained by and how to argue for yourself linguistically. Then when it comes time to play that game, and here's no one's to blame though. No one really want to play that game though. And that's what the government don't understand either. You know what I'm saying? We in a new time where we just need some type of peaceful energy and we can build a government off that. But it ain't too many people, even in leadership positions, going to be in a position JFK was in or some case. You see what I'm saying? That's not the case. It's just too much shit in history to make it seem like oh, we got to do it that way. See what I'm saying? So when it comes into the large percentage or population of quote unquote African Americans, so anybody, y'all, yeah, I'm glad y'all separated that though, because you know what I'm saying, now anybody, just like all the way to Arabs to be called. But for the most part, right, once you separated things, right, and after listening to live streams like this and stuff like that, you'll have a better starting point, because if your spirit connect, you're closer to the natives and you're closer to the freedmans and stuff like that, and the Tainos, the Arabs, and all of us that was over here at that time. If you don't give a fuck about this or whatever the case may be, but you're still in some concept of liberation or respiration or whatever, right? Then you may still had a wrong starting point where you may not be able to argue for yourself linguistically. Then you'll just go down an endless rabbit hole. Then anytime you do try to have a discussion, even if you try to argue in the middle of a city hall, it'll just be frivolous arguments. You know what I'm saying? And this goes beyond people lineage and trying to get money. I just like to give people healthier ways to point at something and combat something. Because I'm Aries too. You know what I'm saying? Got my phone. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to give people tools and stuff like that so you can understand better attributes of how to go about shit. Because if you got a wrong starting point, a lot of times it's dealing with other people who don't really got a starting point, or they know your starting point better than you. They can be able to rock you to sleep. Then you'll be in a situation where it don't matter what you pick, you're in a lose-lose. Because you'll be in a circumstance to try to pick this, circumstance to try to pick that, and both parties is wrong. Yet, those are the only things you have to pick from to substantiate your argument. And then, once they get a hold of that, they own information and history, they could create some other type of circumstance and then make it seem like what you're saying still don't make sense. Kind of like how they be making these new Bibles when you having religious debates. I'm saying you'll be having a cold-ass Christian debate, then all this sudden, here go a new Quashaquayar Bible or something like that somebody got to figure out. And now they can use that to debunk you when both is bullshit. Oh, let me refresh this real quick. I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm saying, what was they calling these things in debates? The Hema Bible or the Kenan Bible. You know what I'm saying? You need to know if the Bible, if it's based off the same context, it don't make no sense. What is it? So it's just a different interpretation. It ain't no original text. It's somebody interpreting what you already got. You already got the Old Testament. You already got the New Testament. Right? So as soon as you see some other shit popping up and they try to say it's a date before, that's a concept of them changing history. But you only care about when they change your history when it suits your bias. You don't know how to see when they change your history or shit you ain't paying attention to. And that's how they rock you to sleep with all your distractions and shit. And then you ain't forget what you think you paying attention to, legitly. Thank you so much for the Cashapp. If that was a Cashapp, I couldn't even see it. I need to turn that back on. So you don't even be in a situation of even understanding what you're looking at clearly. Then you'll be using two pockets, and then you're in a lose-lose. So you'll really just be going broke, trying to get lawyers to go to court for some argument and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to peep game. When it actually comes to these times, right? So the Dè-BAHCO, right? Y'all might not like that name or however the case may be, but we even named Buffalo Soldier or however the case. But now when it comes to the Dè-BAHCO, right, just the black world or whatever the case, then they get broken down into the ka, you know, pata Cashapp. But when it get down, shattered from mountains into many different pieces, many different colors, many different light rays, right? These are the people of the tobacco, the people the color of the tobacco, or the people, and then once you go more to the west, they looked at y'all a little different. So they'd say y'all probably look like the buffalo. But more on the East Coast Native Americans and Midwest, so that'd be the Northwest Territory and the East Coast and things of that nature, right? We call y'all Dè-BAHCO. You know what I'm saying? Dè-BAHCians. Now, the Dè-Bahcian is just putting y'all as a whole because we're trying to get to know y'all, but in a nutshell, y'all all like some shades of tobacco. Even though that word don't mean tobacco, I'm just giving it an English terminology so you can kind of see the mind frame or whatever the case may be, right? So you had all kind of beautiful people and things of that nature that was mixed up with uh uh um uh shit Bantu, all kind of, I don't know a lot, y'all, Berbers, Somalian, Egyptian, whatever the case may be. Everything that y'all was doing over there, all the way to whatever y'all consider a Negro tribes and Arab tribes, to me is just the Arab world. Don't get lost into Arab, and I'm trying to say everybody Arab. I'm talking about these. I'm trying to kind of compartmentalize shit. That's up to y'all to get deep in that story and shit like that. For y'all to kick y'all game and protect y'all culture and y'all history and present some add-on to it so you can make your ancestors proud and make your goddamn descendants motherfucker have something to fall into in this motherfucker bitch. And that's all it's about. Anything else you just lost. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't, everything you get ready to do, you ain't gonna be fulfilled. So it's about people. It's about connection. All that other shit is what it's for. You know what I'm saying? You could be a motherfucking millionaire feeling like it ain't no point of being a millionaire if it ain't nobody to spend it on. This is where tricks come from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you done worked your whole goddamn it late teens, 20s, 30s, 40s to get in your goddamn 50s, and then you start living that second childhood and shit because you start to realize, yeah, I got this Corvette. Yeah, I got this, but I got brain damage like I was in military and I wasn't and shit like that. So what can I do now? Boom, you turn into granddaddy master trick and things of that nature and shit. But you don't, then you might have your friends talk down on you, but you know deep down in your heart, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with the external situations. The external situation is good. That's how they might be synthetic and look at you like it's not making no sense. But deep down, you know the thing that you obtaining don't make no sense. And you get ready to use that shit for some shit that do make sense. Natural connection. You know what I'm saying? Natural quality. That then you will even get rocked to sleep a whole lot of times and shit like that, and have your homeboys, your old homeboys that's drunks and shit like that telling you and shit. You don't even give a fuck about getting rocked to sleep. All of these experiences is fruits that you love to eat because you missed that time that you were supposed to do it. See what I'm saying? So it's like that energy and shit. And you want to pass them gifts and those graces up and shit like that, man. Live your motherfucking life while you got it right now. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But the Dè-Bahcians. So that's putting y'all in the hole. But specifically for the freedmans and stuff like that, the Bahco, right? Day is really Dè-BAHCO is just the black term itself, but that's a world talking about a whole bunch of other things. They ain't got nothing to do with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, when it comes to the Bahco, this is what we used to call y'all and shit. When a lot of times y'all needed refugees and shit because the way how now here's the thing, it wasn't always the colonizer fault because food was scarcity. Really, it was fruitful, but it was scarcity. The more settlers come and trying to operate everything and take control over everything, and based upon it still being a lot of Native Americans here, like the Shawnees, Wyandot, Huron, Way, you know what I'm saying? Susquehanna, they was all mixed in with the Erie. They got destroyed. They got all mixed in with the Lenape and Lapidase. There's a whole bunch of gang of other confederations that got moved westward from the East Coast and stuff like that. So then this is how we get that Sioux family too. That came later on down the line due to the fact of East Coast being pushed to the Midwest to mix with those Native Americans. So that's how Dakota become blended in with Nakota. Then been pushed more westward from the East Coast and the Midwest, more westward. And then that's how the Dakota turned into Lakota. So Lakota is West Coast Sioux, Nakota is Midwest Sioux, and Dakota is East Coast Sioux. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be Catawba Siouan, where all the tribes that make up Catawba, along with Yes-Wahare, would have been speaking that as a not an interpretation, but with an interpreter. Anytime there's a settler or something like that, when you want to interact with the Algonquian and stuff like that, and Algonquian, that's a little bit of colonized too and shit. But you got to understand what's actually going on. It's them coming to cultures all around the world, and we had the hardest spirit. I don't want to say the hardest, but the way they thought about it, we had the. So they was like, damn, with the native language and stuff, we can understand the 7 pockets of the world. So they get into that 6532 energy and still our language and stuff like that. So a lot of their gods is them taking our alphabet and our language and just making a god out of it. So y'all they make y'all prayer warriors with this remix version of Hebrew or goddammit Greek. That stole from Greek, but really it's just a prayer warrior in Psalms that we used to do, but you're not getting how to speak back and forth. For an example, our alphabet. Patakachamana. See what I'm saying? Badasalaga. Now, when you start, before we even get into the ya, wa, ha, you can already kind of get a concept of where they got pata from. They got that from the first part of the alphabet, pata, kacha, ma. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get the pata, then you get ka, cha, right? Then they got the chi. They took the chi from there. Then you got ma, na. They took mundus from that, and no from that, and knowing. So that'd be the pata, kacha, ma, na. That'd be the 6. Then you get to the 5, badasalaga, right? So then they took out and created a Cherokee language out of Sagala. So that'd be or the Badasagala. So the Cherokee themselves is named Salagi. That's how they say it. Like Catawba, we say ours is Yeswahare because we on the western side of them being more central. I mean, more eastern side than them going more into the west. So this is how we share Yehoah and Manitou, along with Shawnee being more north and the bottom of Ohio. So you get more Y and dot. Susquehanna. I'm saying Shawnee. You know what I'm saying? So it's starting to help you understand. We talking about directions, but we look at ourselves like that and shit like that. So it's mapping it out. But then when you get the pata kacha mana, badasalaga, ya wa ha, you see where they got Yahweh at. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Yahweh, and then they took Yahweh, but that's in a direction that's remixing your mind because it's really way Yah. You know what I'm saying? Or Yahuwah, right? Or Yehovah. You know what I'm saying? But they switch it around, and then once they later on they started to add their other letters, and then before they started to add their other letters, it was the sounds. So they replaced a lot of things with S. But the letter S that they took that really had our sound still. We use S, but not in that type of way. So when you hear Yahweh Ha, right? That's what we talking about. When you hear Yahweh Shah, that's a Jesuit taking our language and taking our culture, and at that time doing that in person. In y'all time, you don't know nothing else but Yahweh Shah. You see what I'm saying? And then when you're reading what Yahweh Shah did, the parts that look like it's against you is what the colonists updated, the militia updated, the Jesuits and the Mormons updated, and the parts that look like it's for you is what they kept, that just part of our culture, based off Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? Yahweh. So it's like that. That's how they even took Jesus and turned it into Jesus, replaced it with the letter J. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of other concepts and shit. Wizard of Oz, all kind of shit. Yehovah, Jehovah. They add the J and the V. They took the Denet shit and added the Denet, the Jedi shit that they stole from them. So everything in Star Wars is about our shit. And then had French mix in with them a lot and created that Navajo. So you got the V and the J. Took our shit, all the tribes that was over there, the Wakma, Sugary, Watery, Yeheswahare, Iswa, you know what I'm saying? Yehwa, Iswa, Isa, all these are different tribes and things of that nature. All that make the Confederation of Lumbee. All these make the Confederation of Catawba. Now it's the sea. We colonized by the crown, Catawba. But we helped them with that word. So Catawba actually is another term for warrior or police or Alcacida too, or strong individual. Cherokee, they add the C and the R. You know what I'm saying? That's Salagi. So Cherokee, that let you know they call themselves Salagi. We call ourselves YSY Array. They got C, colonized by the crown, R by the royal family. You know what I'm saying? The things, and then the coons who was in the creek. You know what I'm saying? Muskogee Creek. Where really the Muskogee Creek is Muskogee, aka it was just the fashion in the Cherokee that was the red paint Native Americans and things of that nature, and the Shawnee that was coming together as the red paint and shit. So that help you understand too. Muskogee, it came later on down the line after they didn't colonize it, changed it to Greek, and only remember the coons. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, they psyop that too, and that's how it got turned into Greek. But the Southern Confederation of the Cherokee, the Shawnee, the Catawbas and stuff like that, we went against it but they be trying to put us in one name. So you would think we fought for George Washington, but George Washington always on the side of Britain. But then when you think who on the side of Britain, is the Iroquois, the coons out of the Haudenosaunee, by the R and the Q. So then you'll get confused. And why you get confused is because George Washington is their manifested destiny, and it was the generals using Jesuits to befriend us, aka letting Remick in, and then having us fight each other by who gives the Indians the best deal. So they're going to want to keep that deal other than whoever y'all giving this deal to these tribes and stuff like that. So it was really us fight. So if you see Catawba or the Red Sticks and stuff like that and the Choctaw, these are just names because we're the Confederation that went against them. So you ain't gonna get a lot of history about it either. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that they uphold and stuff like that is the ones that was like, and they wasn't really with them either. They all eventually joined together too and joined us too. It's just at this time you're trying to survive, and you got people flooding, being more powerful, and you at a time where it's in a situation where you're trying to come with the best decision. So if you getting the most guns because what you're getting promised, you're doing the best deal in your mind. You looking at it like it's still your land, not them get ready to just take over everything and get everybody out the way. You're not looking at it like that yet. You know what I'm saying? You're just looking at it like, man, whatever other Native Americans ain't with this way, right. You know what I'm saying? Like the French is doing better deals. The British doing better deals right now. England doing better deals right now. Then once you get more Southern, that's more Pilgrim Mormon. Because Carolina was just one thing. Virginia, New York, Jersey, Virginia, DC, the Carolinas, all the way to Florida. That was one thing. But when you get colonists buying things, you'll get one who got money separated, then it become north of an area, one to come on the bottom, south, because we're naming everything directions, but they're learning our directions based upon us. You see what I'm saying? So this is where this is why they keep a lot of the words, because white boy understand a lot of the Native American terms for the cities and states just represent back in the day, how to find a certain river on the west end, north end, south end, east end. So it ain't really a reason to change it either at a time where you're destroying people and becoming enemies. It's not in your mind as being petty, because it's like what we all was using at a good time too, and they know that we was here first. So it's like more like that. Like you ain't thinking about that. Keep that the same. That ain't a big issue right now. You know what I'm saying? Later on in the 1900s it became, so now you get all this other type shit and all the, but they started with Virginia, Georgia. That's just representing King George and shit. Now, but when it comes into Ohio, right now, this is where a lot of the railroad first started, because it was their way before they start evading. Once we get to about mid 1800s, because they only started settling in the mid 1700s. Everything else was getting their ass kicked going back home. So once they got established, they start bringing freedmans over. So that's the Dè-BAHCO and Arabs and Asians along with y'all in small pockets, helping with the fish and stuff like that. But it was based off different deals. Everybody got colonized in different ways. So it's like different relationships. That's up for y'all to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, we just named it all to Dè-BAHCians. But specifically singing it out because it was a whole lot of, on the East Coast, whole lot of freedmans. So Dè-BAHCO. Right now, so this is when y'all trying to learn our language, and a lot of y'all scouts at times too. But for the most part, y'all start to realize what y'all was promised before y'all came over here. It wasn't like that. Y'all ain't know everything going on. You low key in the middle of a war. Think about because at this time it was like this too. Even when we trying to be cool, that don't mean another tribe and another group of colonists about to be cool. So it's like gangs, colonists versus Native American tribes. This is where the Indian War is coming from, and just people caught in the mix. So when you get the context of the Mormon story, you get more of the nuance now, because you're hearing somebody from home, so you feel like you home now. So you can look at any book all the way to the Mormon story when they say, let's say they talk about the African race and they trying to say y'all cursed because of the dark skin, the Gonidia Akon, right? But listen to their starting point, because everybody got an unhealthy starting point. Even if we all was around a real God, that don't mean a degenerate ain't gonna come out with their starting point. And if they the winner, we got all their Bibles with their starting point. God is a colonist. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta look at it like this. In the Mormon Bible, the way they're trying to, they already got colorism, not knowing where they from, bringing it over everywhere. They looking at it like y'all ain't choosing. So that's what's happening in reality other than Walt Disney, they know how to draw down with the knowledge of Alexandria that you might be lost in, but it got the distraction. P Diddy just went to jail energy in it, so it's hard. Or the Jeffrey Epstein, we don't know where to list that energy, so it's hard for you to focus on what's actually going on. You see what I'm saying? You're just gonna get lost into one hand of it and not understand what they're actually saying or what's actually going on in the circumstance. Well, I had another point too. Let me miss my point. Yeah. So when they talk about the Mormon and they say you was cursed with your dark skin because you didn't choose, they're talking about the Lamanites versus the but these are just different names. It's still talking about the same people. This is the only time in history. The Native Americans versus the Mormons, aka that before they was Jesuits and shit like, and all pilgrims, right? And you didn't choose when you came over here. You started getting confused. Now you could say, or you could listen to a Mormon that's trying to change their life. What else did this happen in history? This didn't even happen in Africa. Y'all came over here and had to decide, and since y'all ain't choose, they made that as an excuse why they could slave you. But in the P. Diddy just went to jail. We don't know Jeffrey Epstein list where that's at energy. You just think that they're talking about colorism and racism. No, it's based upon the actions that was taken too. Y'all actually came over here and started looking at it like, wait, this ain't even right. What is we doing? This ain't right. That sounded good when we was about to come over here and do with property and shit, but the things we got to do, and we in the middle of a war, like, nah, this is phony as hell. So that's another excuse to just make you into chattel slavery. You see what I'm saying? Now you see the nuance. But think about this like it's a third world country type shit, but it's in the middle of the government being strong still, but just downsizing at the moment. So these sickness stories of the Native Americans being downsized before colonists came over, they need y'all to believe that. They ain't even kill 90% of us. That's a lie. They're saying the sickness that would kill the Native Americans is just them being over here. That's what they're saying. Now they did downsize us a little bit, and we did mix with everybody, but don't over exaggerate that because they're trying to create some superiority shit. So in one breath, it's a one blood drop rule, but it's another breath, they just all white people, and then any light Native American, you'll just think that cowboys versus Indians or something like that. Like you don't understand that people is mixed. So you'll have some Native Americans on the West Coast mixed with Irish or mixed with Spangler. Then you'll have some Native Americans, so they look like they Mexicans, and then you have some Native Americans on the East Coast mixed with Africans or Asians or European and stuff like that. But then what's more in your DNA? That's why DNA test is important. What's the higher percentage scale? And what's your culture? What you grow up only knowing? And what's all that? And what's your immediate background? And things of that nature. All that coincides. So therefore, that lets you know what you're more attached to, and either or, however the circuit, but you're more attached to slavery. It doesn't matter. So y'all don't understand it that way. Y'all look at it like everybody is endangered species, and Europeans got you self-hating, so you be speaking for yourself too. So when you start criticizing and telling everybody else who they is, you're the walking example of being colonized. You don't have your grandparents' language no more, or no culture from it no more, or whatever the case may be. So you got to get out of them goggles. Get out of that P. Diddy went to jail, and then we don't know Jeffrey Epstein list at goggles that they be putting everybody in, and you don't know when you be the coon. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, though. It's deep. It be deep. It be deep as hell. They cold with that little piece of paper energy. That's one thing everybody gotta get cold with, for real. They cold with that shit, for real. To the point that, yeah, it do sound good. So we can all accept two things, white and black. Yeah. But when they exercise negative shit with it, like, and don't just teach us. Yeah, we're just talking about colored people, and we're talking about this people, and deep down is white power and stuff like that. But we really trying to be relatable. Like, be real. Like, don't cause confusion. Then when we trying to do these things, you really don't do nothing but, like, create a lose-lose situation, because we snatch even what y'all want to create that y'all think is created from y'all. So if any ethnicity want to snatch Christianity from y'all, they can. Because they can point the finger like, well, y'all don't practice what y'all preach because it ain't that. If any ethnicity want to snatch any kind of moral system from y'all, they can. Because it's like, even when you create the platform, I'm white, I'm black, and you know it, we can all do that better than y'all. Then we point the finger and stuff like that. It's like we snatch that from y'all. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all got to start just doing right with y'all magic squares and shit. Because y'all allowing people to take shit y'all created. But since you ain't acting it out, practicing what you preach, it ain't really nothing you could do but create like an argument that if a person intelligent enough, they could debunk it in a way that you can't really, like, unless you really about to expose the truth. That's the only way. And then it's a lose-lose, because once you expose the truth, no matter which way, you're still a smack monkey degenerate. So it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I just be trying to help everybody out before I go any further. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't be trying to take from nobody's pockets, man. That shit don't be that deep for me and shit like that. I don't vandalize. I don't care how somebody make me upset, even to the government. They didn't take our whole land, bitch. I just do still moral shit. I treat people how I want to be treated. So I know how I coming back. And that's more intelligent. I don't come back, because everybody have grace. I don't come back with no damn degenerate bias or something like that. I won't be me. I like being me. I love being me. I'm gonna tell you that, bro. I love being me. You know what I'm saying, bro? I don't care how much people put stuff in the world, negativity, anything against me, even all the way to whole lineages, and just make us hate ourselves. They do that to everybody and shit like that. That's where that trauma come from. I never let that happen. I love me. I matter. You know what I'm saying? That feel good. That feel real good. I like creating tears out of joy. I like doing that shit. I don't like if I wrote down my journal and before I die, it was more hours and seconds and months throughout the years of only crying because of negative shit. No, I like to even it or make it more on that end. You know what I'm saying? So more of those energies in the world. So there's a such thing as more on a percentage scale, people crying because they enjoy. And it's lesser on a percentage scale, people crying because they're in pain or going through something stupid. So that'd end up being unnormal and shit after a while. It'd be lame. We live in a world where if you cry for pain, we got to have a ceremony around that, because that ain't really something that like an everyday thing. That ain't normal. So it's something really serious and shit. And we really got to take it, like, it got to be deep like that. And also, other than that, man, fuck it. Fuck this, all this other bubble shit we in. This is weak bubbles. I like new bubbles. Also real bubbles. Waterfalls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The woman energy. I'm saying, not know I need a cocoon, you know what I'm saying, tuxedo cat on energy all the time and stuff like that, and hate all woman, and I just want to be a space alien. Nah, I don't got time for that. So I'm like, oh, sorry, I don't really got time for that. I like making atmospheres and environments. Now let's get to the point though. So when we talk about Ohio, right? Now when they was building the railroad track, this was what they was establishing to get quicker to the west, or in the Midwest and the West Coast and the Great Plains and things of that nature, because they start hearing a lot of things from France, and there's a lot of get back based upon writing being updated and stuff like that, and them being on their own Dè-Bahco. You know what I'm saying? Not the Dè-Bahco, but their own Dè-Bahco, whatever that they trial and tribulations and why they be fighting themselves and stuff. But they'll never take it as extreme as genocide. They know how to stop. They know how to stop that with each other before it get to genocides somehow. Somehow it never lead into genocide for them, and then they always just win and save something. But when other people do it, it's savages. Everybody else savages when they do. You know what I'm saying? Just protecting yourself. You're a savage because you protect yourself. You done got about 5 bruh man from the fifth floor knots upside your head, behind your left eardrum and shit like that. You done went deaf, blind, smallpox broke out all on you and shit like that. You could barely swing. As soon as you try to pick up a stick or something, oh, you a savage. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You deserve to be slaughtered. And it's the reason why all this happened to you in the first way. Why your whole ain't tell you that? What happened a minute or 2? Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. So you gonna use my own mental illness against me? Oh, that's okay. I see how this is. I see how this is. I see how this is. But for the most part, like I said, right, we will get when we put them in a situation of trying to expand. You know, Spain was kicking ass a little, I guess. I don't like taking a side. I don't take nobody's side. They start creating Galaga guns and shit like that. They want to put it to the test and shit like that. Pilgrim Man want to end on that, because they was in small scrimmages and shit, but just not enough. Can't get there fast enough. We updating industry, goddamn it, planting now. Goddamn it, fuck the steamboat. Let's get this train track running now. We need more niggers. No, I said we need more spicks. Oh, I said we need more wetbacks. Oh, I said we need more ching chai ching. Ching chai ching. So now we start seeing them come on boatload in the hundreds and shit like that. Oh yeah, this in the plan how it looked. That's how I was looking all at the same time, each excursion and shit. Oh, I said it's like all that. Ching chai ching, ching chai. I feel sorry for your mother. Oh shit, here they come with shit. You know what I'm saying? So boom, now everybody come on, they just think they got good old jobs now and shit like that. They all eating real good as shit, turkey and shit, turkey and stuffing, mashed potatoes, squash, beans, and all this type of shit. Things. I was like, that's just fine. But for the most part, shit. A little corn, maize, and shit. Back when it was natural, when you eat it, you actually get up and feel strong, not fatigue and get diabetes later on in life. And shit. You know what I'm saying? So boom, and then that start getting scarcity, and then you know, white boy he ain't trying to feed nobody if he getting ready to get scarce on food, and he had to kill some Native Americans and force them off some reservation with some land territory, not reservation yet. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that and shit like that. So shit, some people gonna be working and not eating for a while. Here's where Refuge come into play. You know what I'm saying? Where deals was different. Asians got paid a certain different way. Arabs got paid a certain different way. And Africans got paid a certain different way, for lack of better terms and stuff like that. But it was more Africans. So this is where you're going to see more people hungry. You know what I'm saying? It was Arabs and Asians hungry too. Even Native Americans that was put in slavery and shit like that. If they wasn't up slavery from another tribe that then took them over because they didn't want to get down and lay down with this Akasita, the being a fake police for Britain and them and shit like that, or England and them. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, so that's a lot of times, a lot of the scouts, we'll call them the Bahqoi, the Bahqoi. You know what I'm saying? Because that mean British bitter. So you could be a scout sometimes, or for pilgrim or something like that, and call you the Bahqoi. So you separated yourself from the Dè-Bahco and the Dè-Bahcians with the Arabs and the Asians, and you separated yourself from the Dè-Bahco. You know what I'm saying? So all the Dè-Bahcians and the freedmans and the free women's, and now you became a Dè-Bahqoi. You know what I'm saying? You someone that's doing British bidding and shit. You a scout. You know, you just trying to learn things and learn our certain words and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Learn cold talks and shit like that. We might just be saying, hope, hi hope. I might just be telling you hello and shit like that. You think I'm doing some cold op that 90, 100 goddamn Native Americans gonna come out the woods or some shit and do some guerrilla warfare. So you kill me ahead of time as soon as I do this. Well, I can't even dance a certain way. I can't even open them out. Hey, pow, pow. About 5 Native, then they make up an excuse. They drunk. Oh, 5 is better than because 100 would have came. Oh, this cat made that up. Some old small dick drunk general or shit. I said over on that. Just made that as an excuse because they get trigger happy and shit. But like for the most part, here's the thing, right? They needed to expand more westward. So they needed to build them tracks faster and shit. So here's where a lot of people start getting hungry faster. So here, even all the way to Harriet Tubman, she was getting helped by a lot of the Huron and Shawnee and stuff like that. And the Delaware, it was pretty much the Lenape and all the tribes that was mixed into that. She was getting help. And a lot of other people was getting helped in too when y'all needed refugees and shit based upon getting hit upside your head with a sword. But it looked like it was a job. But the extensiveness of the job without being able to eat properly was one of the main issues. Now, here's the thing. Y'all don't look at slavery like everybody hitting people upside their head with swords. It was like that if it's too much talk back. But white boy always kind of created some situation where they allowed someone to kind of speak what's right or wrong or not. Like white boy kind of always did that. So how we're dealing with the Dè-Bahco and like Harriet Tubman, it's not them running away like white boy about to kill them. Like it was a time where somebody ran away, even Native Americans, if they was in bondage, based upon not accepting the government, and you were supposed to do it just like the white boy in chattel slavery because you was here first, but you're not acting like them with this new government over here. That's how they. But it was a time that a few or 2 or 3 scourges would happen, but it'd be so much outroar by what created feminism, the white woman. You know what I'm saying? It'd be so much outroar even by their own people and stuff like that. That's every time. It don't be thinking things so extreme as it is. That's why even when colonists, a white boy or who be thinking they're a scholar and they'd be saying 90% of that, they got that from a book or they doing the psyop themselves. They know that it ain't really that deep like that. It ain't like that. It's them trying to all the way to Mexico is what the Native Americans called it. But for the most part, they don't want to confuse it with Mexico to let y'all think that the Native Americans was the descendants. They always trying to replace the history so they could be here and it be working in other areas y'all don't be paying attention to and stuff like that. But for the most part, here's the thing. Now, when it comes to y'all building the railroad tracks up, they always allowed some situation for people to complain a little bit when stuff not going right. So it was more like Harriet Tubman and them know what they was doing, not them running because they're gonna get killed. It was a lot of times that already happened, and then there was certain times there was generals and colonists that people were scared of because they got that happy trigger finger, but it still will be a backlash that we at a time that they second question that because too many of their fart clouds that went to hell went extreme with it just by waking up and realizing they had a small dick and prostate cancer on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Then drunk, then high off tobacco and shit, and the other in Jamestown weed. Yeah, we was selling them. We were selling them Jamestown weed and shit like that. Yeah, them natives up there, they got the Jamestown weed. They got the gypsum. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, now, once people start complaining too much, like, damn, ain't no food and everybody hungry and shit like that, motherfuckers start deciding to not work no more. Now, here's the thing. You can do that. A runaway ain't you running away, like, at hand because they was chasing you. A runaway is where you at. You ain't coming back type energy. And a lot of, and more than often, we all knew where everybody was at. The colonists know where you was at, know what tribes you was at and stuff like that. Is this you ain't coming back and working on this shit? Then that's when they come trying to kill your ass or kidnap your ass back. And this would create a lot of tribes after we start fucking each other and stuff like that. So a good 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years pass, and we got tired of that shit, and we start making shit like the Tuscarora, the Yamasee, the Seminole. So this now you get into the 1800s, but I'm taking y'all in the birth stage of shit, 1700s, where they can't be trying to debunk y'all, pardon me, or try to play y'all, make y'all think they was settling over here in the 1600s and the 1500s, remixing shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because they discovered the age of exploration in 1490, that don't mean they was living nowhere, selling nowhere, and damn sure wasn't over here. That was a psyop they came up with in the 1800s to make people believe, hey, this is another way we can make people believe we was here 100 years earlier from the last time we made people believe we was here 100 years earlier from that. Yo, I said this be lying like a motherfucker. Yo, I did lie. And that's be lying like a motherfucker. They ought to make that money, though. They know how to make that money. That's one thing. We all got to learn how to get that paperwork together. You know what I'm saying? And just don't use their degeneracy. So they ain't got nothing to combat us with, but we ain't asking them for nothing either. So it's just we can meet at a relatable space. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm not asking for a handout, but I'm also asking, don't block me from doing something that is not bothering nobody. And we can support each other. Whatever product I got, whatever product you got, I ain't about to stop buying. The end. Issue solved. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see how they not doing this with Iman and them. I'm starting to blame that on religion. Not y'all fighting for spirituality and religion. No, y'all need to get rid of that shit. Maybe y'all need to come over here in some of these new churches that's getting ready to be coming up with Native Americans and freedmans, the strong freedmans working together and shit like that, giving a whole new culture and mind state for y'all. So y'all wake up. Wake up. But for the most part, see a lot of y'all in person too. You know, I hit the road. But like I said, I never always do the same thing over and over again. Hit the road. And say, hit the road, Jack. You know what I'm saying? The world is my home. No matter where I go, I'm on mother's bosom. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it don't even matter if I'm around strangers. There's always gonna be some old people that act like they know me. Old grandmother, somebody's grandmother, old grandfather that I get to substitute. And that's my grandmother. I don't care if that's a white woman. It's always mostly always white women too, but it's a white woman, African, Asian. Well, that's my grandmother, not yours. You know what I'm saying? That's my grandmother. She at the grocery store. That's my grandmother. She's just on the road or in the park or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna act like it too before I even open my mouth. That's just how it is. I got the spirit. You know, I never fail, bitch. Oh shit! Like I remember a whole lot of people now. So even if I go and see same people, it's just like family reunion, bitch. It's a grandma, grandpa family reunion, bitch. So I could have a potty mouth or whatever. It's understandable. It's understandable for me. But then a lot of times, boom, when they had in the train track to go more westward and shit like that, and then hearing about the gold rush and all that, whatever, this where they started to get extensive and then needed a lot of refugees before we start getting into those other wars. And a lot of the things that the Africans, Arabs, and Asians was experiencing is you coming in the middle like a war. Like, think about Israel in the middle of downsizing people after a war have already started. So you're just at the time where the people who's trying to colonize is setting up stations after they already took over people forts and already. So they got enough room to create new ones, but it's still a large mass population of those people still here. So you're getting interactions of good relationships, bad relationships. Every now and then you could get caught in the middle of gunfire. You get caught in the middle of gang violence. You know what I'm saying? Indians versus the French at the time, or the Britain at the time, and Pilgrim at the time. Them having small skirmishes against each other because they got big money involved. So they got a military that they can even pay other Native Americans, freedmans, and the rest of the Europeans, whoever taking the side of making a new nation confederation shit. And it's just crazy at this time. You see what I'm saying? So even though everybody still try to find good days, you have to remember, on this land, you was coming over here in the middle of some third world shit, based upon a government in the middle of it getting broken down, and somebody else's government in the middle of them getting established over here, using even all of y'all as a piece of the tool to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is where industries and all this stuff and all of us working together, just negative times is being built from it on the extreme end too. So we're all involved in the technology. We're all involved in the age of industry. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans, the freedmans, building the state, Empire State Building, Tainos, white boy, we all involved and stuff like that. It's just the winners get the chance to make the imagery, upload the pictures, make the history. You know what I'm saying? The words. So, you know, but we all in on this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know why we ain't at a time where we don't act like that. They keep trying to make us be different because of this struggle to put us in a box. But it's like a mental game we shouldn't be playing anymore. Like, we should allow people. That's always the problem, not allowing people just to be. So we all come up with our own way to be amongst each other. When one don't allow another to be, it's always going to be an animosity and fighting over things that ain't even got nothing to do with nothing. Fighting over why we can't just be ourselves energy. That's stupid. Like, that's dumb as fuck. But for the most part, here's the thing. Once the they start building the railroad tracks to get more to the west, to start establishing over there, here's where a lot of individuals start thinking about, like, they didn't want to finish it. So it'd be a lot of people escaping, or not at real, you could call it escaping. That's how the term they give it. But just like finding station with Native Americans and stuff like that, and taking too long to come back. And a lot of times we'd take the rap for y'all. Like, we'd start beefing with a certain colonist, even if we up under a white flag, aka peace at the moment, or an American flag. And because that was the way of saying that group over there is up under peace. And we'd be trying to argue for, and they'd slaughter us all together. A lot of us is together up under these roads, these streets. Anywhere there's a hill was a mound. They just built a road over. Some mounds they left alone. When the most Native Americans was there. Any regular one, they just being funny and sarcastic. So a lot of them, especially in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, ain't nothing but hills, aka Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? And they houses. And the tree houses that they made out of the wood and stuff like that, and the wigwams and lone houses and shit like that, and the mounds is all up under streets and roads. You know what I'm saying? It's the buried city. Underwater streets and roads. Buried city. And if you're a freedman, some of your people here too. Even y'all Asians and y'all Arabs. But the freedman, a lot of y'all was already doing heavily mixing with the Arab, the Berbers and stuff like that, which came from the Moors trying to colonize Europeans and stuff. So you got to have that type of spirit. Like, so you secondhand to me, like how I'm speaking, that's your sentiment. You're not really that invested into trying to necessarily claim the flag because you know it's negative, but you know the sentiment behind it a little bit also, to the point that you know that you mean just as much to this land as anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff we use every day, it's other people making trillions of dollars off of it that should have been had some descendants to, like, look at the descendants of everybody else. We all the same age. And, like, why we not working together? Why it ain't someone trying to protect their lineage and then other people not doing the negative stuff that they lineage had to do, that everything could just be more fruitful, much better. Like even when it comes to Democrat Republican shit, like we won't even be in certain mind states that even lead into, even in their position, having to do more percentage scales of manipulation than just us being real and spiritual adults. And we're just all striving and becoming a better society and being a better example for Africa, Asia, and all the different kind. I don't know them all, but like, because they all watching us. All of our shit is their favorite movies, from the spiritual shit, Native American, from the Freedman shit, remixing it with all the hip hop and all the other type of stuff, from the Asian, all the cold karate movies and shit, the Tainos, Puerto Ricans, good mafia movies, the Italians and stuff like that. Man, Africans, Asians wouldn't even know what to do without us. They wouldn't know what to do without no spiritual shit. Native, damn cold music and cold vibe, Freedman and movies and stuff and jokes and comedian, goddamn it, Italian mafia, and shit like that. Even want to slide in colonization a little bit. So, but separate colonization and movies like goddamn Star Wars and shit like that and things, and that's all they know in their mind, because they got the P. Diddy went to jail and got to see P. Diddy, an American person, and that's still a foreigner. And then goddamn it, Jeffrey Epstein, he's a foreigner, but in America, born in America, can't find his list energy. So, you know what I'm saying? They love Star Wars, but goddamn it, where they movies at and shit like that, bitch. You know what I'm saying? They over here, they don't even know that how we doing psyop. We gonna say we right now. Let's use the psyop. They don't even know how we using psyop on them, even though in-house fights. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cut some checks a little bit. But let's say we, from the outside looking in, but we the inside looking out. They don't know how we rocking them to sleep with goddamn making trillions of dollars off motherfucking Tarzan movies. And I bet that's one of their favorite movies. Motherfucking Lion King movies. Not a Council Rock, Pride Rock. I bet you that's one of their favorite movies too. You know, hyenas and all the giraffes shit. That's what they have. You know what I'm saying? They love it over here though. We ain't have a problem. They ain't had no problem with goddamn Eddie Murphy and shit like that. Arsenio Hall coming into America. So we over here getting, you know what I'm saying? Let's not act like we ain't the shit over here. All of us. Why in-house shit we can't do something right? Like what? Because there's still some little narky energy going on. Some little ego sign, a symbol somewhere. But man, that's supposed to have been cold. Even showing Israel and Iran something. Pilgrims over here, England over here, the descendants that's all of our same age, helping us Native Americans and the freedmans get corner stores just as much as Arabs and Asians. And then we online right now. This is a whole new tactic to skip past all the reprobates and retards and already the person who got a mind that can even lead to, if they don't even got it yet, a large amount of people that could be in the hands to know that they're going to make more sense and not be in no high school carrying a knife and killing each other. And shit like that. And it's supposed to be some situation where that look good to Israel looking at Iran and shit. They're like, hold on, so, whoa, we don't got to slaughter people? We could take over a land. They don't care about the property no more, and we could take the money we getting from it, help them out, and that's it. And then like the whole thing getting better, everybody getting products and stuff like that, more money. Like that's fuck this goddamn napalm. You know what I'm saying? Shit like still we gotta lead by example. We gotta start leading by example over here, but everybody don't want to lead by example. See, because we got more the reprobates over here. More over there, they more spiritual. More over here is more capitalist degenerates. So they don't give a fuck about it. Oh, science. You know what I'm saying? It's that first. Satan, science. And they got, you know what I'm saying? Can't find the thought of God first. It's like, oh, science. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, we're going to come out with that new nuclear. And then that's it. It's like, oh, shit. George Washington's face is on the bottom of the nickel before they light it. And there's another 4th of July at a time. It ain't the 4th of July. So it's like, man, ain't nobody got time for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man. They get a better concept. Go read y'all cult books a little deeper. Y'all ain't go deep enough in it and shit. I ain't go deep enough in it, like. Let's go a little deeper for us. So y'all can be here with all of us and shit like that. You'll have to come back as a little fish sea monkey. You don't become a little sea fish monkey. That's hell. That's in the mind of a hell. And in the body of that don't know how to make nothing else but this discombobulator that lack layers. Oh, water sea creature monkey. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that and shit. Somebody else might make a mistake and eat that small game. They whole body, they catch arthritis, diabetes. Now they blood cells inside of them like, oh man, what's going on with us? We retarded. We degenerates. We reprobate. What's wrong with us? Oh, we got retarded laws and shit. So they don't tell how this happens. We can only put the two and two together. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Still a lot of y'all person real shit flight boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're not listening to the bottom of that Terry's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel. The great account of God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Everybody protect their culture so you can pluck out the good fruit, throw away the bad fruit. Boom, let's all create this esoteric marketplace again. God damn it, ain't no better than that. This goddamn get your concession stand, bitch. Get your concession stand. Real shit.